Hey everybody, welcome back to Random Conversations. I'm your host Danielle.
And I'm Noel.
And we're back for another episode. I think this is our 11th one.
I don't know. I lost count.
We've done so many of these. And there's never any topic that we don't like to get into. So us being sports fans, as you probably might know, preseason has arrived in the NFL, so I'm very excited about that.
Yep.
And one of the hot prospects coming out of the 2025 draft, Shedeur Sanders, Shedeur?
Yeah.
Shedeur Sanders made his preseason debut. He was a starter for the Cleveland Browns. I think they played the Carolina Panthers, and he did pretty well for the time that he was in the game. Mm-hmm. He had 14 out of 23 completions, and he scored 2 touchdowns. Well, he threw 2 touchdowns.
2 tutties.
Yeah, and he already started to do his little celebration. Mm-hmm. He had a very flashy introduction coming in the tunnel. He had his whole entourage, and his brother, Deion Sanders Jr. had to catch all of that. He's playing his own music. I don't know if you know that Shiloh's a producer.
I did not know that.
Yeah, Shiloh produces all his songs. I stay shining.
You need to focus on football, please.
Nah, he's legendary already. I like Shedeur.
One game at a time.
I know it's only preseason, but to show out like this, I know, and it's also against the Panthers, who's been struggling for like the last couple of years. I like to see something like that. His daddy was proud. He was like, "Yes, Lord, yes."
He's like, "What do they gotta say now?"
I could just imagine him saying that, "Yes, Lord." And then LeBron also gave him praise on Twitter. But I like this debut. I do like the flashiness. A lot of people don't, because everybody's like conservative and have their tie all the way up to their necks.
Yeah, the NFL is extra conservative.
Yeah, they don't like anybody that's flashy. Look at Odell. When he was doing his thing, they were like, "Oh, he needs to tone it down," especially with the Giants. And they're like a blue collar organization, so they don't like anything that's flashy. But I hope with him being on the Browns, he could be able to be his full self, his full authentic self, and prevail over there.
But I think that's the only way he's going to prevail, is if they allow him to be who he is. You can't try to bottle somebody up and expect to get the best out of them. Yeah. You look good, you feel good. You feel good, you play good. Mm-hmm. Let the man feel good so he could play good. Ultimately, they're trying to win games, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense to me, the treatment of him. He clearly can play. From what I hear out of Browns camp, from all the reporting that's been done so far, is that, he's kind of been outperforming the other quarterbacks outside of
was it Joe Flacco,
right? So, but they still have him 4th on the depth chart, and they just signed Huntley from.
They did.
Yeah.
Oh wow, Tyler Huntley.
So Tyler Huntley. So they have 5 quarterbacks on the roster. I don't understand what the Browns are doing. The Browns are browning right now. It's like to me, when they first drafted Shedeur in the 5th round, I said, "Oh, this is good." I said, "This is actually smart because you're getting him so
They
cheap."
say that Deion has something to do with it. He made a few calls, and that's how he ended up on the Browns.
No, Deion.
They're trying to make it nepotism.
Deion didn't want. I think there was a concerted effort on the part of the owners to kind of
blackball him,
embarrass Shedeur. Because
of his daddy.
Yeah, all the conversation surrounding that draft was that Shedeur was going to be either the first or second quarterback taken behind. He was either going to be taken first or behind.
He was projected to be the first overall pick in the 2025. Yeah, right. It was between Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders.
Right, and then all of a sudden he fell to the 5th round.
Which was crazy.
There's been a lot of speculation that it's because of his dad and his dad's antics, and he has this larger than life personality, which can turn some people off. But ultimately, I think his game is what should have spoke loudest, not what his dad was saying and whatnot, right? Mm. And ultimately, there's precedence for the way Deion Sanders handled his son's draft. Because if you look at Eli Manning, and they were telling people where they were going to go, where they were not going to go, right? And he kind of forced his way to the Giants. But no one had anything to say about that.
No.
I don't want to make it a racial thing, but I'm just going to put it out there. You tell me what you think, because
I think it's not a racial thing. It's because of Deion's character and his personality. He's very, I don't want to say flamboyant, but he's very boastful. Mm-hmm. He's very boastful, and he shows his chest. He's like, "You gonna do this for my son, and you gonna do it now." And he was like that when he was in the league, and he had a right to be like that because he was one of the best cornerbacks Period.
Because he was like that.
He was like that.
Right.
He was doing the Sanders thing, going to the
prime
time in the end zone after he picked somebody off. Like, he had the right to do that. Archie Manning, he was a quarterback.
He was a good quarterback, but he wasn't great.
He wasn't at the level of his sons.
His sons were better than him. But they definitely have a quarterback factory over there. You see their nephew coming up?
What's his name? Yeah, Arch.
Yeah.
And that's Connor Manning's son, I think. That's his Cooper Manning's son. Mm-hmm. And they said he's probably going to be better than Peyton and Eli. Well, but that's yet to be seen.
More athleticism in the to
big
go
leagues.
Along with the arm and
the
all
run, because Peyton never ran, Eli never ran.
He could be like their 2.0 version.
Yeah. And I bet you they're going to try to swindle their way into either, if the Giants quarterbacks that they got right now don't work out, probably the Colts, because that's where Peyton was, or maybe Denver, because that's where Peyton was as well.
It all depends. Right now, I want my Jets to do good, but I've been circling Arch Manning's name for a while, so I've been kind of hoping that
he said if Justin Fields want to act the fool,
I'm like, if you want to be injured, I'm like, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? We lose 16 games, it's all right.
Yeah.
If it means we get Arch Manning at the end of the year, it's all worth it, because I think that kid is gonna be good. And I think for all the reasons why I think Shedeur is gonna be good, he's gonna be good because he's surrounded himself. Well, he's been surrounded his whole life by NFL caliber minds, quarterbacks who've done it at a high level. The difference between him and Shedeur is that Shedeur was raised by his father, who was an all-time corner, but he had all-time NFL intelligence, NFL IQ. He understood the game better than most. You can't be considered a top 3-4 player in league history without having a certain level of NFL IQ, and his father had that. And I think he imparted that on his son, and he also put him in the presence of Tom Brady, and Tom Brady also mentored him and helped him. So I'm pretty sure he understands film study.
I wonder why the Raiders ain't pick him up.
Because Tom isn't the majority owner.
He's minority.
Right, he's a minority owner. So Tom probably was in there saying, get this kid, he's good, but he ultimately doesn't make the decisions.
The last. Right? Can you believe Tom Brady not having the last say?
Yeah, well, own the team, you get the last say.
On the full team.
Own the whole team. He's just happy to be in the owner group.
Yeah.
And I don't blame him. But Shedeur, in the NFL, one thing's for sure, cream rises to the top. Mm-hmm. So I think that it's going to end in his favor anyway, because he has all the tools necessary to be successful. You
know what I can't stand? Like, I like all these quarterbacks coming out now, and none of them play for my teams. Like, I like Jalen Daniels. I like Jalen Hurts. I like Shedeur. Jackson Dart, yeah, but he's not going to be starting.
Right, but
we have Russell.
That might be a good thing.
He could develop under Russell, right. And I like Jameis.
I hate the fact that the league now has gone away from letting the quarterback sit for a season behind a veteran and learn how to. That's how
Patrick Mahomes,
and bring him up the right way. They throw him into the fire, is sink or swim.
Like Bryce Young.
Mm-hmm. Because you've seen one quarterback do it, you assume that all quarterbacks are able to do it.
But it really depends, because a lot of the quarterbacks, like look at Jaden Daniels, I keep bringing up his name. He didn't sit behind nobody. He was just thrown right in there, and look where he ended up.
But it's stories like his that ultimately leads to the downfall of a lot of young quarterbacks, because they
think they could do it too.
Everyone should be able to hit the ground running, and that's just not the case for every single quarterback.
Yeah. Well, we'll see Shedeur. Perfect time, and I love him.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I wasn't really a huge fan of him in Colorado, but everything that's happened surrounding him right now has made me root for him. I hope
it's not a one-time thing.
Yeah, I'm rooting for him.
Yeah, I think he might get the starter job.
I just hate that he's with the Browns, because regardless of how good he does, he's always going to be third behind Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson. That boy, I mean,
it's a tough division.
Yeah, I can't see a world where
and then you got the Steelers. You got Aaron Rodgers over at the Steelers now.
Yeah,
not to say he's going to make a big difference, but
I mean, the Steelers don't need Hall of Fame quarterbacking. They just need very good quarterback play.
Yeah, right? And I think he'll do it because he has DK. The defense is stacked. They got, what's his name from Miami? What's the dude's name? I forgot his name. The corner.
Oh, Jalen Ramsey?
Yeah, Ramsey. They got...
Yeah, but Jalen Ramsey didn't have the best year last year.
Well, he could redeem himself.
Okay.
He's still one of the top 5 corners in the league. So
my thing is, I'm not a huge DK Metcalf fan because he seemed like a one-trick pony.
nah,
He can't run the whole route tree. You know what I'm saying? His claim to fame is his size.
he was good in Seattle.
And he could take the top off of defenses, but that's about it. So I think he's a very good wide receiver, but he's not a great wide receiver. And I think him and Aaron Rodgers they're gonna have issues hooking up, and they're already having issues hooking up in the preseason.
Oh, they played already?
From reports out of camp.
Oh,
they're not hooking up the way.
Anyway, not your problem anymore. You're not with the Jets.
Thank God.
So I'm gonna stick to sports, and I saw something about Saquon Barkley. He was taken by surprise that Trump had offered him to serve on Trump's sports council.
Our engineer is he's a Steelers fan, and he let me know like,
take it easy.
Take their name out.
Take it easy. Now we're gonna talk about the Steelers every episode. Watch,
yep. Especially when they lose.
Especially when the season starts.
We're gonna be the unofficial sideline reporters for the Steelers.
So I apologize. So I was saying that I saw something that Saquon Barkley was taken by surprise that President Trump offered him to serve on his sports council for the White House. Saquon ultimately declined the offer, but the fact that Trump wanted to appoint him took him by surprise. I don't think he should have been surprised by that because you were schmoozing with the president, right?
Yeah, but
you were schmoozing with the president.
How does schmoozing with the president equate to being on the president's
He
sports
thinks
council?
they're buddy. Trump thinks, oh, that's my and anybody who shakes his hand and tells him nice things is gonna think he's his buddy.
I think Saquon Barkley was just being respectful of.
Didn't he play golf with him, or am I bugging?
Of the title of president of the United States. I think that's where it is.
Do you think he declined? Do you think he declined the offer because he didn't want any backlash from the community?
Potentially.
He's like, I'm steering clear of that.
When you're a public
they would
figure,
slaughter him.
Yeah, when you're a public figure of a certain status, you got to protect your brand, and you got to know your audience. You got to know your fans. And I'm just going out on a limb because I don't know, Saquon Barkley like that. But I think he decided to distance himself. He looked at what happened to Elon and how his
because then
perception
and the
went
thing
down.
is he wouldn't have enough time because the season is about to start. I'm pretty sure that's what he's focused on. Who has time to be on a sports council when you're in the middle of an NFL season? Like it doesn't make sense.
And that's one thing about the NFL. You got to be all in.
You can't be half-assed.
You see how they talk about certain players like, oh, he's in every single commercial. When does he have time? It's
like Cam Newton with the yogurt commercials and Baker Mayfield.
Even if he's shooting the commercials like during his off days or on bye weeks, they'll still say, "Oh, you're not locked in."
Yeah,
right. So
and the fans will tear him apart,
right?
Especially if he doesn't. Tom Brady, especially if he doesn't perform.
Remember that when he had the MAGA hat in his locker?
Oh yes.
Yep. So
yeah, they saw it. It seems like in the NFL, they shouldn't parallel themselves to politics because it's never going to be good.
They try not to.
You see how the NBA paralleled themselves to politics and their league is suffering because of that. So the NFL, they can't parallel themselves to politics because you're going to have a few people. Yeah, you can have your opinions on who you think is better to run the country, but you can't make it known.
Mm-hmm. Well, when you're running a business that you're trying to have mass appeal and you're trying to appease all demographics, you can't. It behooves you not to take a side on certain things because you're going to alienate a certain section of your fan base.
And it really depends on the demographic the geographic location. So Saquon plays for Philadelphia, and that city is heavily, they're Democrat. So if you are going to be paired up with the president who's not of that party, you should, really discuss that with somebody.
Well, I don't even think, because if it was any other Republican president, I don't think it would have
been. No, it wouldn't have been. But
polarizing as Trump.
But he's a polarizing. Yeah, he's a polarizing figure.
Yeah,
so you got to really think twice before you stand next to somebody that a lot of people are not really feeling right now.
But I can't see what Saquon Barkley could offer to the sports council at this time.
I think it's just for
publicity.
Yeah, it's flashiness. Like, I got one of the hottest NFL stars on my sports council. What do you have? Because everything with him is a competition.
I'm like, does he like getting turned down? Because I feel like
I don't think so.
He's always like trying.
But it's a valid excuse if Saquon I'm pretty sure Saquon used that he has to focus on the NFL season as an excuse. It's a valid excuse.
It's a valid excuse, and
maybe he'll try again.
You don't want to disrespect him.
Yeah, maybe he'll try again during the off season to see. But then you got to think about mini camps and mandatory camps and all of that stuff because it doesn't end in February and they come back in July. There's little camps in between that they have to attend in order to be in tip-top shape for the season. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. I think he made the right decision.
Yeah, I think so too.
It wouldn't be a good look for him at this point in time. Maybe if he retires and wants to be sports counsel for whoever is sitting in the presidency at that time, so be it. But not right now. But I'm going to stick with sports again, and I'm going to talk about Sha'Carri Richardson. She was arrested for assaulting her boyfriend, who's also an Olympian, Christian Coleman, in an airport. There's video footage of the assault. We don't know what made her do what she did, but it doesn't seem to be a good look for Sha'Carri right now, because I think they already said she has some type of anger issues, if I'm not mistaken.
She definitely got anger issues. They had another video with her on the airport, in the airplane. She got kicked off the airplane because she wouldn't get off her phone.
Oh, but why is she getting kicked off? Because she wouldn't get off her phone. What, was it taken off?
Well,
I'm on my phone when the airplane takes off, so I don't see.
I actually saw the video earlier today where she was going back and forth with a stewardess about recording on her phone, and then she was talking to other passengers on the plane. And to kind of like
side with her,
what they're doing. Yeah. She thought they would side with her, but the lady was like, "Why don't you just get off your phone?" And she started going back and forth with the lady too. She just seems like a very
volatile,
immature person. Like she doesn't understand her status and what comes with that status. You know what I'm saying? Because when she was first introduced to us, she was supposed to be the face of women's track.
Yeah.
Right. And it was all laid out for her. She has the talent. No one's denying that, but she doesn't have the temperament. She clearly, when you look at that video at the airport where she is assaulting her boyfriend, he's trying to walk away from her on multiple occasions. He's just trying to get away from her, and she keeps like running up beside him. She's shoving him into the column block in the airport. She's shoving him again. She slapped him in the face, and ultimately she got arrested for it. Right. My whole thing is I always look at it from the male perspective, because I'm like, if a man was shoving his girl and slapped her in public, it wouldn't have took so long for assistance to arrive, because if you look at the video, there were a lot of people sitting around in the area. There was a lot of people around them when all this was happening, and no one lifted a finger, no one said anything. But let that have been him, shove her into a pillar or whatever. I'm not gonna. He would have got taken down.
I'm not gonna disagree with you on that.
And I still think she's not getting the scrutiny that, say, if her boyfriend had did it, what kind of scrutiny he would have gotten. She's not getting scrutinized like that. I mean, yeah, because I think this falls more in line with her behavior over the years. So people are starting to kind of expect this kind of behavior from her.
And it's sad because she has a very promising future in track and field. I mean, we actually got to see it in the last Olympics when she won gold, I believe. It was only one gold.
100 meters. Yeah. And that's where she was expected to shine.
Yeah.
She still hasn't reached her full potential there yet.
Yeah, so she just if she calms down and just, settles and tries not to get into trouble, I think she could become the face of women's track and field. Because right now, yeah, she's the most known, but do people want to see her as the face? Especially with what she has going on? Yeah. I don't think so.
I mean, but people want to see Trump as the face of America, and I'm like, he's just as embarrassing.
People pick and choose.
You know, it's weird. But with
People
her,
pick and choose all the time.
it's disappointing to see because she has all the God-given talent to be one of
It's
the
like
best,
Noah.
if not the best.
It's
Nah,
like
Noah
it's like Noah. Like you have the male face of American track and field, and you have the female face of American track and
and
field.
neither one of them are likable,
Exactly.
which is crazy. That's a shame. That's the first time I ever think in my lifetime that I've seen the state of track and field like this, where the most notable runners are not likable
For America. But the thing is, name me somebody in track and field that you remember.
Michael Johnson.
No.
Like I remember him.
You passed the test
from my childhood because he always wore those gold
I
cleats.
just remember. I don't know who Michael Johnson is. I'm not gonna lie to you. I remember Tyson Gay, and there's
Justin Gatlin.
Yeah, him and Allison Felix.
Allison Felix. Yeah.
Allison Felix.
Allison Felix.
Those are the ones I remember, but they weren't. You only hear about them when it's Olympic time.
Yeah,
you don't hear about them in between those 3 years from the last Olympics to the next Olympics. These two you hear all the time.
Yeah, for the wrong reasons.
For the wrong reasons.
Not for winning. You know what I'm saying? It's always some sort of issue outside of the track.
And the track and field, the stars overall are from other countries. Like Usain Bolt was the face for a long time.
He's still
even
like
in
the
America,
biggest figure in track and field.
in America, you think about track and field, you think about him. You don't even think about the ones that we have that are homegrown. You think about him. So I just hope she gets her act together.
I mean, I hope so. She needs to. I would love for her to go speak with Mike Tyson.
That's
know
a
why?
mix.
Because Mike Tyson,
he was like
early
that.
on, he was just like outrageous. He was off the handle, and he'll tell you himself like he didn't like the person that he was back then. And I think
now he there singing the birds and
right,
stuff.
he calmed down a lot, but he came to that realization. You know, no one could calm him down. He had to figure out for himself that I don't like the person I am. I don't want to keep living this way, and he made those changes. I mean, that dog is still in him. You know, don't go testing Mike Tyson, but he's in a much better place right now. And maybe, you have a one-to-one conversation with him and kind of see, like, what's his thoughts on things and what he thinks, I think it could benefit her in a way, people
Talk to somebody that has the same
type of temperament.
Yeah.
Not to say that
and
he's done some things in his
that
life
you have
that, are beyond anything that she's done. I'm not trying to say that they're the exact same one for one, but I'm just saying someone who was a certain way, who saw that the trajectory of his life was not going to be where he wanted it to be if he continued on that path, and then he changed it. I think that's someone she needs to sit down with and have a conversation with, because her whole image kind of needs to be revamped.
Yeah, I agree with that. Mike Tyson. That's gonna be one interesting conversation. I would like to be a fly on the wall for that. I wonder what made him want to fight Jake Paul. Was it last year?
Money made him want to fight Jake Paul.
But it's like, does he need the money?
You always need the money. He's a public figure. He's a private contractor. You get what you make. You're not going to work 9 to 5 every day and you can count on a paycheck. You got to keep going out there and getting checks, getting big paydays. That's why Floyd Mayweather kept fighting those exhibition fights and whatnot. He kept fighting UFC boxers. They all need the money because the lifestyle hasn't changed. It's not like
and you don't get residuals in boxing,
right.
Do you?
He didn't downgrade his lifestyle. So if you want to continue living a certain lifestyle, you got to continue chasing the money.
I guess. But yes, I would like to know why he did that. At his old age, knowing that he wasn't going to do nothing. And Jake Paul said he didn't want to hurt him.
He didn't want to hurt Jake Paul. If you look at certain,
Jake Paul didn't want to hurt Mike Tyson.
If you look at certain moments in that match, there was.
You really think Mike Tyson would have hurt Jake Paul?
Of course.
Really?
Of course. You gotta go back and watch that fight. You'll see moments where Mike Tyson could have took his head off, and you saw him like hold back. He
didn't want to break his hand.
Same thing with Floyd Mayweather when he fought Floyd Mayweather the last time. Remember Jake Paul? He fought Floyd Mayweather, and Floyd Mayweather friggin' rattled his brain and then held him up.
Really?
Yes. There's a moment you watch the fight.
I don't remember that
he
fight,
held
though.
him up. Floyd Mayweather would have dropped him had he not held him up, physically held him up. So
But Floyd, he's so small.
Right, and Floyd Mayweather is like half his size. So that just goes to show you what Mike's punch would have done to him.
They're not even in the same weight class.
Could have killed him.
They're not even in the same weight class, him and Floyd.
No.
Jake and Floyd.
Right. And Floyd rattled his brain.
That's crazy.
So, yeah.
I'm totally switching gears now. So I found this story on Complex about AI taking over. And an example is the Prime Minister of Sweden. His name is Ulf Kristersson. He admitted to using AI to gain second opinions on certain decisions when it came to the country's well-being. Mm-hmm. And it was just amazing to me that it seeped into government now. Mm-hmm. with making decisions. I kind of get it. It's like a pro and con to it. The pro is that you're having an objective viewpoint for certain topics that you want to...
Unbiased.
Yeah, you're having an unbiased opinion come in and say like, okay, well, I think this, that, and the third. Because if you depend on people on your cabinet or members of your cabinet, you're probably going to get, yeah. You don't know how many yes men people have. Mm-hmm. So yes, it's an objective way to gain a new perspective, but also it's like, what's this for? What is your brain for? To make decisions. So why are you relying on an inanimate device or a program that you can't, it's not programmed by, is it programmed by people? How is AI even programmed?
AI?
Yeah.
AI is programmed by people. It's just created by people, but then it learns. It learns based off interactions with people. It also compiles information from multiple sources from the entire internet, right? So it's compiling raw data. To me personally, I don't see the issue with getting a second opinion. I'm gonna tell you exactly. I'm gonna tell you exactly what the man said.
From artificial intelligence.
I'm gonna tell you exactly what the man said, because I feel like artificial intelligence was built with that in mind. That at some point in time, we'd be using it as a tool to help make better decisions for the world. Because clearly, human beings can't be trusted to make sound decisions 100% of the time.
So you think a robot's gonna rule a country one day?
I don't think a robot's gonna rule the country one day. But just so you know, Sweden is ranked number 6 as best country overall in the world. So clearly, Ulf Kristersson is doing something right.
But how long has he been in office?
He's doing something right in terms of running the country, right? He's not saying that AI is the only tool that he's using. I'm pretty sure he's leaning on his cabinet and other confidants when he's making decisions. But to add an unbiased party to the equation in the form of AI, I don't think that's a problem either. He's just compiling all the information that he can before he makes a final decision. He stated himself that the reason why he uses AI is because he said I use it myself quite often, if for nothing else than for a second opinion. What have others done, and should we think the complete opposite? Those type of questions. Yeah. So he stated that he uses AI just to get a second opinion. He said he asks it questions like, what have others done, and should we think the complete opposite? Those type of questions. So I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I think AI was created to help with decision making and to help human beings maximize their potential. I don't really see it as a crutch. I don't see it as something to ridicule this man about. But I don't
think he's being ridiculed.
People are saying this is not what we didn't vote. We voted for you, not AI, not AI. We didn't vote for.
So you're a big proponent.
They said AI oligarchs because they said that oligarchs create AI. I'm a big proponent in using the best tools available to complete your job. Yeah, and anything that can enhance my performance, I'm
I don't mind it. I just hope that people are not solely dependent, because people can become solely, I don't feel like thinking right now. Let me use Chat GPT. Let me see what they say.
That's on people, though.
But the wrong people could get into
right?
offices like this and use that.
No, my thing is, I would be
not saying he's the wrong person. I'm just saying, and
I'd be overly.
It's not far fetched.
I'd be overly critical about this if he was using AI as his only means of making decisions.
That's what I'm saying.
Right? And that's not the case.
That's what I'm saying.
One of many different things that he uses to make a decision, and I don't think that that's an issue. And people who are against it, I think they're just against change. Those are the same people as when they were riding the horse-drawn carriages and they saw the first car. It was like, because this is ridiculous. That ain't never gonna
something like this. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Something like this.
Go ahead.
No, something like this.
No, something like this will make people feel like he's not competent to hold that office.
I don't see why. I think that because not a lot of world leaders are doing it. At least they haven't come out and said it. So I think he might be ahead of the curve on certain things.
Maybe there's certain people that need to use the AI chatbot.
Right. I mean, he's using it for raw data and information gathering outside of the information gathered from his many different departments and people that work under him. It's not his sole source of information and his only the only party that he uses to bounce ideas off of. It's just one of many different tools that he utilizes in his toolbox.
Yeah, I get it. It's just certain people don't have the mindset as you. Mm-hmm. Not everybody's a futurist like yourself. And a lot of people think that they don't want this to be set as a precedent. I always use precedent because this is a precedent. You never heard of this before. Or people like being forthcoming and saying like, I use AI chatbots to make decisions.
But you see, kids are using AI chat. That's what I say.
That's why some of these kids, like when they go to school, they can't function because they're just so dependent on artificial intelligence.
That's their parents' fault, right? That's their parents' fault for not, legislating that in the household. Like you shouldn't be.
They don't sit down. You know how we used to type essays, right? Like literally typing essays. Yeah. They use Chat GPT. They don't have a care in the world. I don't know how they function in college. I don't know if they said no, don't use AI.
Handwritten stuff, but then you can just copy what the AI generates. But ultimately,
and then make your little alterations so it doesn't look like it's plagiarism or whatever.
Ultimately, the only people that suffer from that is the cheaters that use it, because then you get into the real world and you don't know shit. And you say your boss is expecting you to be able to do certain tasks because
they probably find jobs that probably utilize AI.
No, it's like you get a job and you can utilize your calculator, but your calculator can only do so much, right? So tools will only take you but so far. Eventually, you're gonna have to show what you're made of, and if you don't know how to do anything, you'll find yourself out of a job real quick.
So, laziness.
Yeah, I always tell people, I'm like, you cheat. You cheat on a test and you get 100. You didn't cheat anybody but yourself, because ultimately you don't know shit. You know what I'm saying? You didn't learn anything. The person that got a 75 knows more than you.
Yeah, because they actually used their brain to do it.
Right. They figured it out and they did the very best that they could. But you're never gonna get rid of cheaters. People are gonna always try to, cut corners and whatnot, and let them, because ultimately. The cream,
it'll be their downfall.
The cream will rise.
It'll be their downfall.
The cream will rise.
People still need to use this. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of enhancements out there, but you still have to use this. That's why you have one. Mm-hmm. But they've been slaughtering this man. I saw they have been slaughtering him.
That's fine, but the country is still in great standing. He's been in office since 2022.
Yeah, October 22, right? He assumed that position.
Right, and there's nothing wrong with the country. The country is going along just fine. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, ultimately, if you're happy with the way that he's governing, what's the problem?
Yeah, because you don't know how long he's been using this.
Yeah, you just want to be mad at something.
Yeah, he could have been using this from the time he entered office. Mm-hmm. So we were talking, and one of our dear friends had mentioned.
Friend of the show.
Yeah, she's a friend of the show. We were talking about, certain topics, and she had mentioned that transgenders are getting denied early retirement after a long time, after being in the military service for a very long time.
Yeah, 15 to 18 years, exactly.
Yeah, they're revoking their retirement funds, and even though they chose to live that lifestyle, I don't think it is right for them to be, for their retirement funds to be just taken away like that, because they did serve this country. And the way this country always shows out for their veterans and people in the military, they should be included as well, no matter how they choose to live their lives. But I know this is something that you had really wanted to get into, but that's my piece. It's not right.
Yeah, I wanted to get into it because when I heard it, it sparked like a feeling of just confusion and
it's
and
like these people
towards
spend a majority. It's
Right.
like Harvey Milk, right? Harvey Milk. He was in, I think, the Air Force, if I'm not mistaken. Apologize if he was not in the Air Force. But I want to finish my statement. He was in the Navy because they named a ship after him. And when this current administration they wanted to take his name off, and I think they did, and replace it with somebody else. But he was a gay man. He was a transgendered. But I think the bias towards that community, the LGBTQIA community, when it comes to the military, the Air Force, and the Navy, it needs to stop. Because no matter how they decide to live their life, they serve for this country. And it's not right for their... How are they going to live after this?
Exactly.
They spent 15 to 18 years serving this country. Now you're going to tell me you can't pay for my retirement?
And they signed a contract. These promises were made, and they were broken for seemingly no reason at all. These people served honorably. You know, they got to the end of their 15th or 18th year, and it was always available to them up until recently that they could apply for early retirement and get their full benefits. But as of a few days ago, they're being forced out. It says U.S. Air Force is denying early retirement to all transgender service members with between 15 and 18 years of military service, opting instead to force them out with no retirement benefits. It says these longer serving transgender service members will have the same choice as more junior ones: quit or be forced out.
That's crazy.
With corresponding lump sum payments as they walk out the door, right? So, I mean, when I think about these things, I think about it. I put myself in their shoes. How would I feel if I gave 18 years of my life to a company? I'm going to retire because that option is available to me, or it was told that it was. And when I go to retire, you tell me, oh, we're not doing that no more because you're black. You know, like literally, that was the only explanation given to transgender military personnel. We're not giving it to transgender. We're not giving that option to transgender people anymore because you're transgender. They want to eliminate transgenders from the military altogether. And this is just the first domino to fall. They're trying to unincentivize them to join, right? And I think that's messed up, and I think it ultimately hurts our military.
Yeah,
I think we have over
less
4,000
bodies.
Yeah, we have over 4,000 transgender military personnel in the U.S. Army, right? And to get rid of willing volunteers just doesn't make sense to me, because there's a lot of people out here who scream to high heaven that they're Americans and they love America
and won't put on a uniform and pick up a gun and fight for the country.
They're not fighting to save nobody.
All they do is have the flag waving in front of their yard. That's all they have.
And they damn sure don't want their children signing up and all that stuff. And you mean to tell me that you have people who are already willing and able to lay their life on the line for the country, and you're telling them that you're just not good enough to do that because of your preference? If they pass every fitness test, if they pass every psych test, if they're morally sound, then they should be able to fight for our country. It's driven by optics. They want their military to look a certain way.
Traditional, right? Male and female.
And they I guess they don't feel that transgenders are intimidating. I was like, let me tell you one thing. There's some transgender women out there that can whoop my ass. Right? That can outrun me, that can outshoot me, are smarter than me, right? So I'd want people like that protecting me. And especially if they're dedicated enough to volunteer, like that's what you want. So why would you shrink the pool of potential volunteers by completely eliminating transgender people from the army. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. It's not fair. What are those people to do now? You know,
Yeah.
they gave those years of their life with the expectation that by the end of it, they would get a pension and everything that comes with the retirement, right? Now they're not getting any of that. That's not fair.
They need to review that. They need an AI chatbot to tell them whether they right or
That's
wrong.
not fair at all.
You know what I said?
Oh, you said, yeah. AI would tell you that's not fair.
Yeah. It's like, no, you can't do that. You got to pay the people 15 to 18 years. Come on now.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Ulf Christensen would not have.
Yeah, he would
done
have. Even if he thought it was right, he would have asked AI. They would have told him that he was wrong. You're like, all right, never mind. Like, come on. Like, what logic is that?
And the way I see
would
it,
you like somebody doing that to you?
The way I see it, it's a very slippery slope because he's just doing whatever. The president is just doing whatever he wants to do at this point.
And everything's getting passed.
And it doesn't seem like anything is off limits in terms of what he wants to do. And it's scary. It's scary. Mm-hmm. You got big businesses kowtowing to him. He's freaking revoking retirement benefits from people for absolutely no reason. It's so much. That's just the tip of the iceberg for what he's done so far. And he's not even been in office a year yet.
No, it's only
Not
what,
a year
7
yet.
months, 8 months?
Not a year yet. Everyone saw what he did to Elon, the richest man in the world. Everybody kind of
Basically put that man in a corner and
Yeah.
tell him to shut up.
Yeah.
That's what he did.
We have not heard from him since.
No,
Have not heard from him since.
and that's what he
The
did.
richest man in the world. And
That's saying
he
a
put
lot.
him in a corner. So, you start to think, what can you do?
Yeah, it's not a lot.
But one thing he did do, and I appreciate him for it, is that Trump exposed the glaring weaknesses in our government structure and how things are run, and the potential for disaster that the president holds, because he doesn't necessarily need the approval from Congress and stuff like that when you're just signing executive orders every 10 seconds, and then.
But there is still the system of checks and balances.
Yeah.
Because the Supreme Court stops him on a lot of stuff as well.
How well is that working?
As long as, but the thing is, Congress, I believe the House of Representatives and the Senate are ran by Republicans. Mm-hmm. So anything that he wants passed, they're going to pass it. That big, beautiful bill got passed because the House is ran by Republicans, Senate's ran by Republicans.
The crazy thing is, there's a lot of Republicans that don't agree with his stances.
The Supreme Court is majority Republican.
Right.
So,
what you gonna do? Right is right and wrong is wrong. But I guess depending on your perspective and vantage point, we might be on different sides of things.
Yeah.
Especially when we try to figure out what's right, because some people think that removing transgenders from the military is the morally right thing to do. They bring religion into it where it doesn't need to be brought. Mm-hmm. Like, it's supposed to be a separation of church and state.
Yeah, and there is none.
That separation is eroding before our very eyes. And religion is a very scary thing, and there's a reason why we separated it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'm really uncomfortable.
Religion starts a lot of wars too.
Mm-hmm. Religion, yeah,
is
very divisive.
Yeah, I'm moving to Sweden, obviously.
Yeah. And with Ulf Christensen.
Yeah. Let AI rule my world. Mm-hmm. But
it's doing a good job.
So that was another episode of Random Conversations. I hope you enjoyed it. My name is Danielle.
And I'm Noel.
And we'll see you next week. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us on our social media platforms.
Yeah, we're on TikTok, Instagram,
and YouTube. Yes, right? Catch us on the Tube of You.
Mm-hmm. And there's links to all of our social medias on each platform. So don't be a stranger.
Don't be a stranger. Goodbye.